pattern for the arrest, which were continuously being followed, and after the attack, they were staying only in guest houses and private lodges. In fact, we are getting to hear that this is indeed a first breakthrough that came after the agencies found the cap. That cap was a very crucial bit of the investigations that you're seeing on your screens right now. The image of the cap that was captured by the CCTV cameras when the suspects had been changing their locations. It was first from the place from where the cap was purchased, and then the other one from the Chennai store. Later, searching started about the pattern of where these two suspects had been staying. In Chennai also, they stayed in a lodge, and this given the fact that they had been on the run for a very long time, despite all the evidence, it was indeed a mammoth exercise to try and get these two masterminds. Harish joins us for more on this. Harish, this was a massive operation involving the central intelligence agencies, the state police agencies of various states, the NIA as well. Just tell us a little bit on, the investigations. How did they go about it, and what really was finally the time or the trigger from where they were able to arrest these two suspects?
Well, there are two major breakthroughs in this investigation. The first one was initially when the facial feature of this man was caught in CCTV, in a BMTC CCTV bus in Bengaluru. The second major breakthrough came in when, as you rightly mentioned, when they recovered a baseball cap, a limited edition baseball cap. Based on the serial number, they managed to find out where it was sold, and it was sold from an outlet in Mylapore in Chennai. And the CCTV image very clearly showed that it was Musaffir and also Taha Mateen, who were there in that mall in Chennai, which essentially established the identity of these two people. Apart from that, if you look at how the investigation has panned out, it became very clear that it was the ISIS Shimoga module that was behind this attack. And then they started interrogating Sharik, the bomber in the Bengaluru cooker blast case. Maj Munir, again another suspect accused who was arrested in the ISIS Shimoga module case. They started to probe them, and they realized that it was the Musaffir and Taha Mateen who were behind this. Both of them were wanted in the ISIS module case. They were in the wanted list of the NIA as well. And that's when they started tracing out other people who perhaps could have given them logistical support. Muzammil from Chikmagaluru was arrested for the same reason. He gave out more details.
Right.
Soon NIA realized that there were multiple people involved, and at every point in time they managed to cover their tracks to ensure the funding doesn't get traced by the agencies. They were using cryptocurrency accounts, and based on that itself, one person who perhaps is associated with the BJP was called in to provide information because he had a particular name. The cryptocurrency used by these accused also matched the name that this person had. So they had called him for investigation. So they've used cryptocurrency to cover their tracks. So they've ensured that every place they either mislead the investigating agency or cover any evidence that they're leaving.
Oh, indeed. They have been misleading the investigations, as you rightly pointed out, by changing their locations, by changing their clothes, by eating at different restaurants. But it was that baseball cap that seems to have helped the investigators to finally nab them. Akshara joins us for more on this. Akshara, just how crucial is this arrest for the NIA and for the investigations, because they also have links with the ISIS Shimoga, and this is not really the first time that one is getting to see suspects who have links with the ISIS module, given how in the past we have seen the Bengaluru blast as well, where multiple people were found to have had links with the ISIS module.
Yes, absolutely. The cops earlier established the fact that these two individuals, Mateen Taha and Musaffir Tasib, were in fact linked in touch with this ISIS module, some of the ISIS module. And this was very important investigation that was going on regarding this Rameshwaram cafe blast. And the NIA has been successful in detaining and arresting these two individuals. And as my colleague Harish mentioned, they had done a good recce and they are prepared well regarding this whole, in order to execute this whole blast. And they covered up all their tracks, and also they opted to a crypto transaction as well to ensure that they avoid detention. So it was a master plan that was executed by these individuals. Now remember, the incident took place on March 1st, and nearly after a month, these individuals are being arrested. So yes, they did a good recce of this whole place as well. The individual, the primary suspect who carried out this attack, the low intensity IED bomb that was planted by him. And right now I'm here at the Rameshwaram cafe, standing right in front of the cafe, and after a week of this particular incident, the cafe was reopened, and the business is as usual is going on, and the security measures have also been stepped up right behind me, as we can see, there are metal detectors and security guards, 3 to 4 security guards in front of the hotel. Who are this patient here? The thorough check of all the baggage that is going inside, along with the customers, is being done. So yes, it was a crucial investigation, a crucial breakthrough, and these 2 individuals have been arrested. So yes, that's the update. And the business is as usual. It's going on at the Rameshwaram cafe, and it was back to normal long back. And yes, that's the update regarding the NIA investigation case
Akshara,
regarding the
stay with
Rameshwaram
us. In fact, we're getting in breaking inputs on the very same story. CNN News 18 continues to bring you mega exclusive inputs. This is just another exclusive input we are bringing to you on the Rameshwaram blast case. Now, CNN News 18 has accessed the investigation's details. 2022 pressure cooker bomb is key to the module that's been busted, and the idea in fact was to do something big one day. In fact, top intelligence sources have told CNN News 18 that so far major investigations have not been done, but this is a major arrest that has taken place today of the accused and the co-conspirator. We are hopeful that one major module is finished. That is what intelligence sources are telling us. This is also linked to the 2022 Bengaluru pressure cooker blast case. For more details, let's quickly go across to Harish. Harish, every time an ISIS module has been busted, they've seen that the investigations have indicated there has been a larger sort of ISIS hand, where in fact ISIS Khorasan province has often surfaced, especially in the blast case of the Bengaluru cooker blast. What are intelligence sources telling you with regards to how ISIS Khorasan province or any other ISIS operating from South Asia could be involved?
Well, if you look at the ISIS Shimoga module itself, they got radicalized somewhere between 2019 and 2020. And Abdul Taha Mateen attends a radicalization camp that was in Bengaluru. These were ISIS operatives from Coimbatore who had carried out that radicalization camp. Then he gets back to Tirthalli in Shimoga, radicalizes other people. And one of the initial ones who gets radicalized is somebody who was arrested for a derogatory graffiti case in Bengaluru. He's radicalized, and several other people in Shimoga get radicalized, in Tirthalli to be specific. Then they manage to get the knowledge of making a bomb. They carry out a trial blast on the banks of River Tunga. And this, the local police stumble upon in a different stabbing case related to riots that happened in Shimoga. Then they realized that this was a bigger nexus. These people had carried out a trial blast on the banks of River Shimoga. One of the members from this particular module goes on to carry out the pressure cooker blast in Bengaluru. Maj Munir is arrested. Sharik, who's the bomber in the Bengaluru blast case, is arrested. 2 others get arrested from Tirthalli. But there are still people who were absconding at that point. That was Muzaffar, now identified as the bomber in Rameshwaram blast case. The other is Abdul Taha Mateen, who's said to be the handler and the key conspirator in the Bengaluru blast case. They go cold. There is no lead that the NIA gets from them. They are put on the NIA's most wanted list. They make it to that. But nothing that happens ever since November 2022. What we do now know is that sometime in January 2024, these people travel to Chennai, and then they hatch their next plan to carry out a blast in Bengaluru. That's where they've procured certain elements, whether it's the costume. We are yet to know how they procured and from where they procured the explosives, because in Shimoga and in Bengaluru, they procured it locally. It was the same pattern that is used, just like the cooker blast in Bengaluru, same ID with a 9-volt battery that was used even in Rameshwaram cafe blast. That's the reason in the initial few hours itself, the local intelligence and the local police started looking at modules that could have perhaps got reactivated and the similarities in the bombs that were made. And Shimoga module was one of the primary suspects even back then, without any solid evidence. And then they started to look at people who were absconding. And the first major lead, of course, came in terms of this man being identified traveling in a BMTC bus. Then also the cap that, as you rightly mentioned, was a major breakthrough. So the Shimoga ISIS module, perhaps now we can say, has been dismantled to a large extent. But let's not forget there was one crucial handler who goes by the name Colonel. He perhaps is still absconding.